Alright, so I was out here formulating and making some color with some scrap paint here, and trying to make something up here to it's getting there. Once it dries, I think it's going to be right in there. Alright, this is my color, and this is what I made up with scrap paint. But it's still, this yellow will dry out of it when it dries. It's just the way it is. Yellow, usually, depending on the paint manufacturer, a lot of times the yellow will dry out of it. You can't see it. Anyway, maybe by the end of the video I'll show you again if it'll be dry enough. But anyway, I want to talk to you guys real quick about paint formulation and making a color that's going to last on the outside. I see this happen so many times that, you know, paint stores are just jack stuff up sometimes, and especially if you go to like a hardware store to get your paint. In fact, I went to Dunn Edwards. Dunn Edwards, they jacked me on some material once a long time ago, and I didn't double check it. And they put chrome yellow in an exterior color, and it faded out like a mother, like really fast. So people were like, "I don't want you to use Dunn Edwards ever again." And I said, "Look, it was the guy who formulated the paint. He messed up, and I didn't catch it." But, so I didn't use it anyway. I didn't use Dunn's, I used Vista. But anyway, and I'm not saying that they mess up. They don't usually, but you gotta watch this stuff, okay? This is the stuff you need to know about formulation for paint. Okay, for exterior, you never want to formulate a color. Like, if somebody says to you, "I want a really bright yellow on the outside," okay, you go down, get chips and whatever, you go down to the paint store, you go down and tell them, "Look, I want you to put as much C as you can put in a chrome, which is not chrome yellow, yellow oxide, in a quart of paint as you can fit, and let's call it a formula. Go over and put it on the house. Say that's as bright a yellow as you can get." And if they say, "Well, I want it brighter," say, "Well, sorry, that's as bright as you can get. If you want any brighter than that, it's going to fade out." So you never want to use chrome yellow on the outside of a house. If you want a color that's going to last, stick with the colors from B, C, and I. Those are always, they're earth tones, okay? And if you want to make a blue, use lamp black and white. It'll make blue, believe it or not. The lamp black, the thing that's in lamp black is the formulation of lamp black actually has, like this black right here is going to have lamp black in it. Like all that's in that is lamp black, and it's in the A base, which is clear. So if you can put lamp black and white together, and it makes kind of a blue, something, well, dirty blue. And that blue will last pretty long on the outside. I think this one actually has a little bit of blue in it, and I can see the E in there. But she picked the color. I didn't have anything to do with it. She just said, "I want this color on my house." It was an older lady. And you know what? With old people, and I'm just not going to argue with them when they're old, because usually they're not going to be alive long enough to see it fade out. So we just went with her formula, what she asked. So, but normally I'll turn that away. I think E, I'm not sure what E is. I don't usually get that in mind. And F, I think that's F. I'm trying to think, I can't remember what it is. Well, B, C, and I, if your colors are made with B, C, and I, black, C is yellow oxide, I is red oxide. If you stay with those, or if you have, let's say if you want a bright red for the outside, you have them put I in there, but I'm telling you, it's still going to fade out really fast. As much I as you can, you can get in there, and in an A base or something, and then put a little bit of black in it so that it has some coverage. If you don't put that in there, it's just not going to cover. It's going to be like put the marble at the bottom of the can, you'll still see it. But anyway, those are the types of things. Watch your paint formulas. Look at ask them at the paint store. Listen, and that's why I don't go to hardware stores to buy paint. I can do it. I can go to a hardware store and buy paint, is, I mean, like sometimes I have to. I'm in a place where there's no paint store. I mean, I've been in cities in Northern California, and it's like the only thing there is an Ace, and that's it. You know, it's like I need to go match a color, and I don't have the paint. I can't get it because I don't have the right toners, and so I've got to go to the hardware store and get paint, and the only place around is like an Ace Hardware or one of those guys, and you know, and I get it there, and but I know the formulas. Let's say the guy will go and put it on the computer, and I said, bring me the formula when you get out of the computer, and I'll look at it, and if I can't remember what the tint is, I'll actually look it up online and make sure that it's an exterior durable tint. And if it has too much of an interior tint, which is like chrome yellow, I think AX is an interior. There's certain ones that are. They're made with chemicals, and the ones made for exterior are made with powderants. So, and ground up, you know, basically powderants are ground up earth materials. Chemicals and paint and house paints don't last. And if you can get automotive paint, then there's a way to do it. I don't know exactly what they use for binder to make it work, but they last and they don't fade on automotive. But in house paints, it just doesn't. There's just certain colors that just won't last. So raw umber is good. That's another one. L is another good tint. So BCI, L, and if you have too much, I, or you're going to have problems. If you have too much blue, phthalo blue tint, you know, that's going to fade out. It's one of these two, I think, is solid blue. I can't remember, F or E. If there's too much phthalo blue in it, it's going to fade out really fast. So one customer came to me and he says, hey, I want a blue house. I want a nice blue. And they gave me this color blue, and I'm like, I went to the paint store, took it down. I said, okay, what's this? What's in this? And he's like, oh, phthalo blue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm like, no, get it as close as you can with black and white. He's like, all right. So he mixed it up with black, and maybe I think we had a little bit of blue in there, but not much. But mostly black and white. And brought it over to them, and they go, oh, well, that's not quite as blue as what we wanted. And I said, well, if I go any bluer than this, it's going to fade out really, really fast. Do you want it to fade fast, or do you want it to last? And they said, we want it to last. Okay, and this is as far as you can go. So those are the types of things you need to be the painter, and you need to, you know, talk to your customer. Or if you're a guy looking to get your house painted right now, and you're just kind of looking at my videos, then those are the types of things you need to be flexible with. You cannot get bright ass blue on your house. You know, it's just not going to last. It has to have a lot of, if it's a dark blue, it has to have a lot of black in it, and a little bit of blue tint you're going to have to put in it to make it really blue. But there are limitations on exterior on what kind of colors you can get to last. All right, so I'll talk to you in the next video.